Hello and welcome to the STCfit Learning Podcast. I'll be your host today. My name's Ben Scott. I'll be joined by Jason Galea. Thanks for joining us on our way to create 1 million positive outcomes for personal training clients by 2030. The podcast is brought to you by @STCfit Learning, a page created to upskill and educate PTs and gym nerds. Also brought to you by @STCfit, and that's a place for all your online and in-person personal training needs. If you enjoyed today's episodes, please give us a share and tag on the Instawebs. You can tag @STCfit, @STCfit Learning, @BenScottSC, and @JasonGalea PC. Hope you enjoy the show.
How small that one is.
Yeah.
He needs all my hand-me-downs. Always think of you when I clean out my wardrobe. But Mike Tam wouldn't wear the clothes I wear.
We should hopefully wear some of them because some of them are my old clothes.
Yeah, I still can't see Tam rolling that.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that what's the basketball jersey? The yellow one? I don't remember who it is.
Maybe Indiana or...
Yeah, Indiana.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit me anymore.
Yeah.
I really like that jersey.
Yeah.
I really want it to fit.
Yeah. I think I had a jumper that it has like the 1988. It's got like the Jumpman, the Jordan.
Yeah.
And you're like, can't wait till you grow out of that one. I'm like, oh, fucking bullshit. It's never going to happen. That does not fit anymore.
But I'm not giving it away.
And you're still not getting it. Yeah. It's just like, I will be smaller. There will be a time when I will be able to wear this again comfortably. Yeah.
Does he catch have J's at the moment?
Nah. I'm just...
Catch.
The only thing I'm looking at...
How much are they, Tim? I have to see how much they are. If they're cheap, I might buy them. They're just like basic red.
The only shoes I'm looking at the moment are golf shoes. So...
The mids are cheaper.
Yeah. I usually buy mids anyway.
Yeah, mids are good.
Yeah, they're just comfy.
If you got small ankles,
yeah,
it's like you can get away with them. If you don't have small ankles, you cannot get away with them.
Anything that's a little bit higher than normal to make my calves look, or my ankles look less small, I'm in.
Yeah.
12-year-old girl ankles.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is new.
This
We're
is
back
different.
in a room together.
Yeah, this is very different.
It's still...
It's like, I don't know how to sit. I don't know how to like...
Yeah, I hope this like rotating in my chair is fine, Tam, because I'm going to do it the whole episode. I can't help it. I've been given the tics.
The boys are
We're all
back.
good.
The boys are back.
Right. I was actually thinking like during the week, as Tam said, somehow we always end up on a black couch.
Yeah.
It always happens. And I was thinking like, is the boardroom really much better?
Yeah.
I'm not. It still feels a little...
There's a lot of black chairs in here.
It still feels a little interviewee.
Yeah. There's a lot of black leather chairs in here too.
I hope this video doesn't go where... So yeah, we've obviously, update from us, moved into an office space in the interim until that thing that we've been talking about for 2 years finally happens.
So we get our own office space above our own gym.
Yeah, which there has been progress on, but we don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's not exciting enough to tell anyone.
Yeah, we just... it's like, we just don't know what the actual timeline will be on anything.
Yeah, I'm still not going to believe it's happening until we actually open the door.
Yeah, I think when I hit order on the equipment, I think that'll be the day.
Yeah, I don't know what the day will be for myself.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a bit undecided yet.
Yeah.
I'm so over it too at the same time. So.
Yeah, I was trying to think about it. Focus on other shit.
Yeah, let's try. I'll talk about it then.
So last time we spoke, we were obviously finishing up the Standout PT program. So that's launched now. Had our first call yesterday. It's a pretty good bunch of...
Went back to week 1.
Yeah. Revisiting mindset, which is always interesting to see everyone come in with the impression of what mindset is.
Yeah.
And how floofy it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you just watch over that 90-minute workshop, people go, oh, fuck, yep, I do all of those things.
Yeah. It's mindset for running a business. It's not fucking bath bombs and listening to fucking alpha waves and shit. Which is what people think it is. It's like, there's certain situations that arise when, and you think this way, you need to not.
Yes.
And we need to identify those because that's what good business owners do.
And your mindset produces your behavior. And if your behavior's shit, it's probably because of your mindset.
Yeah, so if anyone was on the fence about that, we just knocked it off in 30 seconds.
Yeah, we swear a lot.
Yeah.
if that helps at all.
It's not fucking meditation shit.
Nah.
All right?
Nah, go see my fiance for that.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. So yeah, Office Space, a little bit more productive. It's exciting. But today we're going to talk about starting out as a personal trainer, which is something we haven't talked about. I reckon it was like mid-50s we did an episode on like what you need to know to start. Obviously, we've refined our thoughts a little bit more. We have our own program on it as well. So, and even just like the guys coming through the academy and the standout PT and stuff, learning, I guess we had the discussion about like, what do they run into? What are the problems of someone starting out? And we're like, well, they all want to know how to get going on Instagram. And we were like, we didn't have Instagram till like year 6, 7, even later probably, that we actually started utilizing it.
Yeah, I remember the first time someone showed me and I'm like, you just put your fucking pictures up there. Like, who cares?
Yeah, now we run our whole business off it. So I thought we'd start off like, I guess, what is the main thing, the biggest issue that a new personal trainer walking into a gym for their first day confronted with? And I would say that the biggest feeling that they all have is just they're fucking terrified of failing.
Yeah, I think once the reality kicks in of like how the job actually works, or how
the job in Bunny
how the position works, because 90% of the personal training industry is self-employed, is based on a self-employment agreement, whether it's independent business owner, working out your own thing. There's very rarely an employment opportunity, and if it is, it's probably just a very quick stepping stone into your own kind of self-employment opportunities. So I think once that sets in, it's that fear of failing and not knowing how to get clients, how to run a business, how to put money in the bank, how to survive, and how to make a living, off this, it's an awesome career. But there's just so many things that need to be kind of laid at the start.
There's a lot said about the cereal box certificate that is personal training, and we've probably come to its defense quite a bit in that, like, you probably have the tools that you need to train someone. One thing that's definitely lacking inside that realm is like the expectations of life once you actually start. Like you said, you have just become a business owner overnight. And if you don't take that approach, it gets hairy real quick.
And I think the unfortunate reality is that the RTOs providing the certification, the education, that's their job. Their job's not to bridge you into the workforce. I believe that there should be a gap. There is a gap there that needs to be identified and potentially filled, but that's not their job. Their job's to provide you with the tools and the opportunity to get certified. And who knows, like maybe those people in those situations don't actually really know what life's like out in the real world on the front line as a personal trainer anymore. A lot of people have an idea of what it is, and then that changes really quickly, and personal training is way different to when we first started. So there's this expectation when we come out and we get certified. It's no different to anything else. Like, you do X certification, you get this job. You apply and there's this job available to you. And there's a lot of industries out there where and positions within those industries where it's not like that. And if there is,
starting at the bottom.
They're very limited. There's you're capped in terms of your growth potential and earning potential in an employment opportunity. And a lot of people aren't happy with that and need to go out on their own. But when they go out on their own, they've just got no idea what to do.
And it's interesting, and I said this somewhere before, that if business development programs were successful, then the RTOs would introduce them. Because the problem they have at the moment is like when people want to buy a certificate, they want it to be cheap. They want to have the least amount of contact time, the most amount of online time. They want to be in and out as fast as they can so they can start. And that's why like the ones that maybe aren't so good are more popular than the ones that are, because like I can get it done faster and it's cheaper. It's like, oh, well, I know such and such who's a PT and they'll help me. It's like, cool. That's not going to set you up. So, and then like we talk to people all the time, and it's interesting how people in their second and third year that have grounded out and had to like bury themselves for the last couple of years, that they go, fuck, there's just got to be a better way. And that's when they show up talking to us. It's like, well, how do I actually do this well?
Yeah.
But it's the ones that are just starting out that are like, no, I got to fuck it. And it's all together.
Yeah.
Even like our business scorecard, we see them come through and it's like someone who's just started a business.
Yeah.
And they score like 85%. You're like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
just awareness.
Like if you do, awesome. Like, but I 99% of cases
can't score 85.
I'm going to say you just don't have the awareness of what that actually involves.
Agreed. Yeah.
What all of those things really mean. Like having business models and systems and stuff in place. Like it's just not. Yeah. It's not there from the first day.
No, that's just a ranking of their own kind of reality right now in Circle. It's like, it's not in a lot of cases, that's not actually reality.
Yeah, and it's
a bit of a wake-up call.
That circle of knowledge theory, we see it play out so much. I think it was last week we did the programming unit for the guys, and it was just like, okay, so who feels like they know fucking nothing now? And it was like half the class were like,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, your circle of knowledge, like first exposure, your circle of knowledge is just like doubled when it comes to this topic. So of course you feel like there's so much all of a sudden that you don't know. Maybe for those that don't know what a circle of knowledge is, basically you have a circle. Inside that circle is your knowledge. The surface area of the circle is what you perceive you don't know. So the greater that circle becomes, the greater the surface area. So essentially, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And that can be a really confronting and scary environment to live in.
Yeah, but it's the best one.
Yeah, it's the only place to grow.
Stay within a smaller circle, you only know so much.
Yeah, if you haven't
you think you know everything.
If you don't feel out of depth in at least one area at the moment, like it tells me you're not moving forwards.
Yeah. Usually, if I get into a situation where I'm like, this thing's easy, I'm just like, oof, need to go back on that one. If it's important, I'm like, if it's nutrition, nah. I was like, why don't you talk about nutrition? Because it's easy.
Boring.
It's like the one that people want to talk about the most, but it's like once you get what the tools you need as a coach, like there's a lot to nutrition. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But it's like for the tools we need.
And we teach it, and it's like when, to be honest, when we first were exposed to that environment, it was a circle. A big circle for us to sort of go, oh, fuck,
Loved it, but not now.
Yeah. Definitely have been. But I'm no longer a nutritionist.
The circle is staying the same size for a very long time.
Until the science moves in a drastic direction. But it's funny, like all the top guys in that space, like they're all been saying the same shit for 15 years. It's like, So we took the time to write, like, what are the three main things, the problems that a PT has when they start out. So obviously their biggest problem is they're scared of failing. But the actual tangible problems that they have, the first ones is they don't know how to get clients. They walk into the gym, it's like, okay, there's 4,000 people here, that's awesome. I've got my big box shirt on, I've got my certificate, I paid my $5,000, clients come to me.
There's an obligation for the people within that building because I have this uniform on to come and work.
And Jay says someone who actually has a degree, it still doesn't work.
No, when you come out of a degree of any kind, you're better than all the people next to you who don't have one. And then everything should just be easy from that point. And no one reads the boards. No one looks at them and goes, oh, this person's got this and they do this.
Especially when you put that I attended a seminar on your profile board.
Well, no one reads that shit, and no one's just like, personal training's too personable to just have a stranger walk up to another stranger and say, help me on something that's super emotional and really, really awkward. So that's not the biggest problem, but it's part of the problem. It's like they're walking in with an expectation, if I just stand here, everything just comes to me.
And then you add to that, like, to be honest, I don't really think gyms actually overpromise. I think it's a perception issue from the person coming in. That, like we said, you've got the certificate, you work in this gym, you forget, young PTs tend to forget that they don't work for that gym. They pay rent to run their own business in there most of the time, or they're a contractor of some description. So the gym has no obligation to build your business for you.
No.
You will get some good gyms, some not so good gyms in terms of like how much help you get to get off your feet. But at the end of the day, like you have to figure out how to do that on your own.
Yeah, and if you were a business and you wanted coaches, trainers in that business, a good business owner would want to get them off their feet.
Yeah.
However, once you get into some incentivized positions and things get a little bit bigger, it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so when you're getting put into a position and they're explaining the job, of course they're going to explain it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
This is the busiest coach. This is how many sessions he's doing. This is how much they charge. You know, it's like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that can be me. Yeah. It's like, there's also 23 other people. Now, I'm not saying that's not a bad idea. That's an amazing challenge and it shows a good culture in the gym.
And the truth is that you can achieve
that. Yeah, but they're not going to sit there and say, look,
handed to you.
You run your own business, you get your own clients, we spend 12 weeks getting you off your feet, but outside of that, you're on your own. You need to know how to run a business. You need to pick up the phone and call people. Like, they're not going to tell you all that shit because you're not going to do it. They're just going to tell you the prize.
Yeah.
You know? And like, we're about identifying the prize, but we're also about identifying the problems and why you guys have those problems and how to fix them.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to do that though because we're not selling you jobs here.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So not knowing how to get clients, also the business systems thing, like how do things actually run? Like I know you started off with like cash here and there, bank transfers here and there. I was the same.
10 packs. 10 packs, 20 packs.
Man. Thinking about packs now is like such a
I still know people who do packs now. And I'm like, it just hurts my feelings.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And even like as a consumer now, we were just having a discussion about we have a gardener come to our house. Because winter's come, he's like, oh, we'll just go to 3 weekly. I don't need to be here anymore. And I was like, oh, I have to change my payment. It's like, that's more inconvenient than actually paying more.
Yeah.
So just put me on a direct debit, charge me an X amount for the year and just make my house look pretty.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Like as a consumer now to be like, hey, your 12 weeks is up. You've got to buy another pack. It's like, this sounds like a fucking pain in the ass.
It's awkward too. Like you've got to do it 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, just letting you know that we have... You know, they've got to come up with a lump sum of cash. It's like...
Yeah, I'm thinking of it as like through the consumer's eyes and it sounds shit.
There's so much friction to them staying on board.
Yeah.
Like, and then you've got to pay yourself over a time span from a lump sum of cash.
Yeah.
It just...
So takeaway number one, guys, PT packs are shit. Stop doing that.
putting like purchasing power back in the client's hand on how your business runs is shit.
Yeah.
So cash.
Yeah.
Like sessions owed to you, like they don't pay beforehand. You know, packs, all of that stuff. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
And it just does not encourage repeat business. And repeat business is business, and it's easier business, and business is how we keep score.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to watch. This is a bit off topic, but watching how business will evolve in general in the service industry.
Yeah.
Like if I think about my barber, right? If I'm like, I should go to the barber every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
To get things tidied up.
Yeah.
Because I need to trim my beard and...
Yeah, I definitely need to go every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
I shave that often, but imagine being in a situation where it's like, hey bro, like you're a regular. How about every time you come, you get a coffee or a beer, we'll trim your beard, clean it, whatever. You get your oils and products included. I'll cut your hair. You get like, I'll wash your beard and shit. Whatever it is, you sit back and think about, what does a client need? I don't know because I don't have a beard. I just want a good fade.
It's all of those things.
Top to look good.
It's all those things and a good fade.
So, and even from that standpoint, it's like, all I want is my hair to look consistently good over time. I like going to the barber because it's a social experience. It pisses me off when I have to wait in line and I have to put my name on the board. So why not go, hey, just pay me $10 a week. You'll have an appointment once a month or once every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This is what's included, and it rolls on. You're going to show up to your appointments more often than not because they're booked. And if you don't, it's like, oh, fuck, I didn't show up. Like, it's not on them.
Yeah.
As a consumer, it's like, well, I'm getting all of the problems that I had, which was looking homeless.
Yeah.
Mainly for me.
Yeah.
I don't look homeless anymore, and it's easy. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to book it. I don't have to line up.
Yeah.
All those problems are solved for me. So, yeah, just taking that lens, looking at we talk more about like business systems and stuff as well. It's like, well, what's the service you're actually offering? Like, are you just trading sessions? Do you have external resources? Are you really solving the problems that your clients have? Yeah. Or are you just like, I can show up, train, if I don't want to, I don't?
Yeah. And then I guess looking at it from a resources perspective, and like we always talk about retention, like we had a 45-minute discussion today and probably an hour discussion on Monday on retention. And it's 25 times the resources to go out and find a new client. And the likelihood of repeat business on someone who's doing packs and paying you as they go and all those kind of things is significantly lower. So you're just putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to work potentially 25 times harder when you could do what you just said then, all of those things, solve all these problems, reduce the friction, and make the experience as good as possible. Yeah. And then the likelihood of this person staying on is higher.
Yeah.
And they're actually happy with it because it's like, fuck, I don't have to go out and take $1,000 out and give it to this person every 10 weeks. When most of the time people don't want to do that. It's just like, that's what people think they should do. Like, you know, it's like, someone, you sell packs.
Someone tells them to get ahead, sell some packs. You've got liquid cash. It's like, for what? So, because you probably, when we say business systems, that includes budgeting.
Yeah.
You probably don't have that in place just yet, so you don't know how to manage your money. If you're anything like Jason and I when we were fucking 20, like all of a sudden you hit your first $1,000 week, it's like, didn't see that.
Yeah.
Where was that? Okay, we're still living week to week. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's not a smart idea for at all.
And then like having no systems at all was just like, that's where people get tired. You know, we talk about all the time, like more burnout's done from just poorly operating your week to week than actually being productive and working hard. It's like you when you get shit done and it's done in a smooth fashion, doesn't matter how much of it you do, like there's a huge sense of fulfillment about it. And if it's seamless, it's seamless. But if it's like you're just fucking grinding, doing repetitive shit all the fucking time that you don't have to do, you shouldn't have to do, then that wears you out. Yeah. Especially if it's unfulfilling shit. It's like, think about the same shit you do all the time that you hate, try and streamline that.
Yeah.
You know, make it so you don't have to do it as often as you do. If you can, great. If you can't, you might have to put up with it. But like, there's just so many things that coaches either aren't aware of or business owners aren't aware of that they need to be to make things easier. So then they have time, they have freedom, they have opportunity. They're not just spent fucking in the gym grinding away, not knowing what the fuck to do and getting unfulfilled in a career that just should be super fulfilling.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the reality of it is if you sat down with someone in their first day to 3 years and say, tell me your business model.
Yeah.
Most people, personal trainers, will trip over their own feet.
Yeah.
Not be able to answer that question.
Yeah.
So the other thing, like we said at the start, which is a bit of a trip for us because we didn't give a fuck at the start. It was just like, how busy can we get in our own gym? Yeah. So like this wanted to start to have a presence on social media because like that correlates to success at the moment.
Yeah.
Does it define success? I don't think. If you're working in a club, I know plenty of personal trainers that are booked out in clubs that have fuck all social media presence.
Yeah, I think people are looking at the end or midway through the journey as the measurement of success and forget what the necessary steps are before that.
Yeah.
You know, we rank everything in like these 4 businesses, these 4 typical businesses. Yeah. It's like failing, bought yourself a job, scaled business owner, and I can't remember the one in between that.
So there's running a business,
running a business, and scaled business owner.
Yeah.
So when we look at people who are typically, failing, and even the ones that bought themselves a job, they think that getting popular on Instagram and having all of these followers and all of these things is going to be the reason why they're going to make all this money.
Yeah.
When really it's about having impact where you work first, on a boots on the ground level, even just in your gym, nowhere else. Like work on the impact of that. Affect as many people as you can positively in that space. Then all of a sudden, it starts to move into the community. It starts to move locally. People start talking about you. Maybe you're operating out of 2 different spots in the area, or even just like marketing outside and people are coming from outside of the gym to that gym to work with you.
Yeah.
Things are starting to grow a bit more. Then it's like, okay, cool. We're starting to scale things a little bit more. You're getting more exposure. online, moving into social media, you've got yourself like a website or a blog or a lead page or something like that, with people trying to come from everywhere to work with you.
Yeah.
And they can kind of eat up your content, and you have the ability to train them no matter where they are and no matter who they are, let's say for now, just until you have a niche. People can't go from 0 to 10,000 followers minimum trying to train people all around the country if they've never done boots on the ground, train people in the gym.
Yeah, and you listen to like all the OGs of the industry, like even more OG than us, because we're getting up there in the dinosaur 10 years now.
Yeah.
But they talk about getting famous in your hometown first.
100%.
And we I think if you look at our story, that started in our local gym where we worked. We built a team. We had a huge amount of success inside that club, probably between 4 trainers doing 150, 160 sessions a week, maybe more, at some stages. We started marketing in the club. We started running seminars. We started running group stuff and just like got some momentum. As we started to do that, I was like, all right, let's do a blog. Let's do a podcast that's no longer available because it was fucking terrible. But then it was like, okay, so that's pretty cool. And then I remember we went to the Arnolds before it was the Arnolds. And it was like, hey, you're the STCfit boys. Yeah, and you're like, who the fuck are you? Like, do people actually listen to our stuff?
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I listen to your podcast every week. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, we're hometown starting to happen. And I reckon it was probably the first time I noticed it. Maybe it grew faster than that, but I just wasn't in the position to be made aware. It's probably early 2019. Went to an RP seminar in Queensland. Someone pulled me aside and was like, oh, you're the guy from STCfit. Your videos are fucking awesome. And I was like, wow, okay, like that's new. So that took us, obviously the rate of growth now is faster with your access and the amount of people on social media, but that took us 4 years to sort of generate that kind of spread. And now it's like I have people on Instagram that take in all our content from international, like America and Ireland and shit like that. It's like, okay, now we're starting to have that reach. But first day, who in the gym knows your name?
Yeah, what the fuck have you got to talk about?
They're the people that are going to pay you. It's the people that are in your gym.
Yeah, yeah. What can you share of value to an audience if you don't know anything about the people you work with because you don't have anyone to work with?
Yeah.
So go find people to work with, get experience, find the people you like, collate the same fucking problems that you see day in, day out, and be like, okay, I've got to solve these because these always pop up. Yeah. So this is the stuff that people want to hear.
Yeah, and that's what builds the foundation of your social media.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah, I think one valuable thing that the lens that I would look at social media through as a new trainer is it's kind of like a lead page if you don't have a formal one. So like an opportunity to present your results with people. Yeah. So again, if you don't have any clients, there's no results. It's just going to be pictures of yourself. And maybe a little bit of education and stuff that you are solving the problems that come up as they go and getting better at that. And it's almost like using social media to filter out ideas, thoughts, etc.
Yeah, figure them out, get good at presenting, get good at talking into a camera.
And then what you'll find is that'll play into like retention because your clients will see lots of value in, and we get it all the time. Like, the stuff that the guys put out on their social media. It's like, can we get a testimonial? And they're like, all the free shit you guys do is unreal. It's like, yeah, but what about the stuff you pay for? Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah. So it always comes up as like a retention tool as well, which is useful for most of your clients feel like a community, all that sort of stuff. But I would still be just focused on your own group and your own gym and making sure that what you're putting up there appeals to those people locally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, if you are starting out, I do think practicing on social media will refine your skill set. It'll help you think things through. Valuable retention tool, but don't expect to get on social media, build 1,000 followers, and fill your book.
Yeah, it's not going to happen straight off the bat.
Because none of those people, actually, the guy that approached us at Arnold's just signed up to Stand Out PT, and that was like 4 years ago. So if you want to wait for 4 years for a conversion, go for your fucking life. Let me know how long you last.
Yeah.
And the other people, like they're not clients; they just follow our stuff and like what we do. So I think it's important to realize if you've got the choice between sitting down for an hour and creating an Instagram post or making an hour, say 3 minutes a call, 20 phone calls.
Yeah.
Which is filling your bank account faster. Which is keeping the doors open, food on the table, rent paid.
Yeah. There's I know a lot of people who have a lot of followers who don't make any money.
Yeah.
Because they don't know, but like people just like to listen to their stuff. But like outside of that, it's like there's no transaction of business. Yeah. So they're not really keeping score.
Yeah, there's industry leaders in bunny ears, depending on what metric you use for that. In Australia in particular, that you just see the stuff that they do and you're like, whatever is happening is not successful right now.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yep. So yeah, use it as it's definitely a valuable thing to have, but it's like, don't jump into the industry straight off the bat and expect that to catapult your business.
Yeah, don't use it as a way to make lots of money, because I don't think that's going to happen.
Nah, not at the start anyway. Like obviously we use it quite successfully now, but...
Yeah, and we teach it. It's not as though it's not there. So in terms of like the solutions to those, what are the steps that you need to, or we talk about how like most of our programs are built on pillars. What do you need to have in place to actually be successful in your first, say 1 to 2 or 3 years? Or actually remove the timeline.
Yeah, just
to be failing and move into a business owner / at least like working a job.
Start keeping score and making money.
Yeah.
Making enough to survive.
At least if you bought a job, you can eat.
But yeah, that's it. You buy a job, you can put food on the table, pay the bills. Yeah. At least.
Bought a job is better than
you're just
failing.
capped by time and opportunity.
That's
but it's
right.
like at least you don't have the stress of like of losing money.
Yeah. And most people don't have the business acumen to start out and go straight from like failing to running a business. Yeah. There's usually a part of like, okay, I filled my book, I'm really busy, I need to start running this as a business now. There's steps you can put in place early, but I think that's a bit of a rite of passage.
Yeah, and then I guess before we move on, like acknowledging that a lot of people have probably done it tough to start out with their business. Like we're not expecting people to walk in first week and start eating fucking caviar and shit for dinner. Like you got to eat a lot of shit before you eat caviar, and we've done that. But it's like, how long do you have to do that? How long do you have to struggle? Because like getting it off its feet is the hardest thing you'll ever do. Yep. But it's like once it's rolling, if you do it the right way, it's like breaking into that. The 3% of like the wealthiest people. It's like getting in's hard. Yeah. But going from like 3% to 1 isn't actually that difficult.
Yeah.
So it's no different.
I think that number in Australia is like 260K.
Yeah.
So it's like moving yourself from minimum wage to make 250 grand is tough.
Yeah, it's hard.
Once you make it 250 grand, it's easy to jump up to $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like the same thing with your business. So everyone struggled, we have, but it's just we did it for longer than we had to. And then there's people that do it and don't survive. Yeah. It's like, and they've just gotten chewed up and spat out. And it's like the ones that really only survive out on like any further than that, either got lucky or they've just like dependent on someone else so they can just like kind of do it as a side hustle or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, which is the worst thing to do.
I hate that term, but it's like so many people still do it.
Yeah. So I think the first thing you need to have in place is very clear, easy to articulate goals.
Yeah.
The amount of people that you sit down with and like, okay, so where do you want to be in 12 weeks? It's like in most gyms, you got 12 weeks to sink or swim.
Yeah.
Is that full rent bills coming in on week 13?
Yeah.
So are you going to have $310 in your bank account to pay?
Yeah.
Obviously it's a scaled model, whatever, but that's your trigger point. So having clear goals from a 12-week standpoint allows you to have clear goals for a month, to have clear goals for your week, to have clear goals for your day.
Yeah.
If you don't have those things in place, you walk in and with that like fucking wide-eyed, what do I do now? And you do nothing because you don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I feel like people have almost like butchered the goals. It's like we'll talk about the mindset shit. I'm not sure if we were shooting at that time, but it's like sometimes it's unfortunate when we have access to so much information. And everyone has a voice. Like everyone has the microphone now.
Yeah.
So you can kind of butcher shit, and people almost like make a preconceived idea of what everyone's talking about when they talk about goals or mindset or stuff like that. And it's like, when we talk about goals, it's not some motivational speech so that you fucking live life with intent. Yeah. Like, or just get you out of bed for a week until you're fucking demotivated again. Yeah. Because you haven't actually gotten to the root cause of what your goals are and what they mean to you. Yeah. It's about not being in the gym, looking around going, I know I should be doing something, but I don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. And it's like, and then going home stressed and going, I know I should be doing something, but I don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. And then going to bed and thinking about the next day and going, fuck, I know I've got to get clients, but I don't know how to fucking do it. Yeah. So it's like, when you have clear objectives, they start to just give you a bit of an itinerary of how the week should look, how the day should look, and you should be able to sit back and go, pass or fail. Yeah. Did this, didn't do this. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. It's not to make you feel bad. It's just like, why the fuck didn't you do that? Mm-hmm. Like, just ask yourself that. Okay, I didn't do it maybe because I'm scared or maybe because I got busy. How are we going to do that thing? Yeah. Because if we do that, it's like we've ticked the box for the week. You do all of your things that are outlined for your goals.
You win.
You'll fucking get them. Yeah. That's pretty straightforward. You want this, do all this. Yeah. Do all this, get the goal.
And if you don't have those goals in place, you don't know where to start. Yeah. So imagine, and this, I used to love this. It's like, imagine if we sat down your first day of personal training and I said, you pick up that phone 500 times, you'll make $2,000 a week. Yeah. Everyone will pick up that phone 500 times. Oh. Because it's like, it's 100%. Guaranteed. All I have to do is dial the number 500 times. Doesn't matter how many times I get no, I'll do it because I know Ben's going to give me $2,000 a week at the end of it.
I almost wish like I could show people what it's like to have a successful personal training business first. They'll fucking do anything. You will do anything. Yeah. Like, once you get going, yeah, and you actually run a business and you run it the way you want to, yeah, in alignment with like what's important to you. Like, you tell someone like, hey, do all this. You can tell them, call 1,000 people. Yeah. They'll be like, I'll call 2,000. Yeah. You know, because I want to get it even faster. Yeah. Just like, there's still that it might not happen.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like, because there's no guarantee at the end of the 500 calls, I'm scared. It might fail or I might be successful, and that can also be scary for people.
Yeah, very common.
Which is why, like, you'll see, and you'll be one of two types of people typically. Sometimes you can actually have both, which is a head fuck. I've been there. Where it's like, you have a great week, you put on 6 clients, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that was good. Why did I do nothing this week? It's like, maybe you actually just shat yourself at the thought that this could actually work. Yeah. Or you don't want to pick up the phone because you're scared of rejection, and those feelings have kind of come up. So you typically fall into one of those two categories. So put your goals in place, reverse engineer your goals, gives you your daily action plans. Yeah. Review your pass or fails at the end of the week. Yeah. And most things are pretty sweet after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just own the fuck up to the fact that you might not achieve your goals, but if you have them, at least you know how to operate day to day. People don't set goals because they're scared of not getting them.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like, okay, well, you're scared of maybe not achieving 90, like 100% of your goals, but you might achieve 80, or just living day to day, not knowing what the fuck to do. Yeah. It's like, I know what I'd pick.
Yeah. So last thing on goals, this is actually from our Standout PT program. A Harvard study basically showed 83% of people don't have written goals. It tested me for the numbers, but I think it's about 16? Anyway, let's say it's 16. It's going to add up to 100, hopefully. 16% of people have an idea of their goals, but they're not written down. They are 3 times more successful than the 83%. And then 3% actually have their goals written down, and they are 10 times more successful than those who just have an idea of them. So they're 30 times more successful than someone who doesn't have goals.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
So multiply that out in a business where 35 grand is like baseline, times that by 30, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference between actually having those goals in place and not. And time.
Yeah, it's huge.
So next thing you need to have in place is obviously sales. You need to know where your clients are going to come from, how you're going to get to them, how you're going to show value to them, how you're going to provide enough value that they want to give you their money.
Yep.
To get the outcome.
Yep.
So we believe the most effective method of that is being really fucking good on the phone and really fucking good on the gym floor.
Yeah.
If you can do those two things, forget social media, forget anything else inside that time period. If you can be good at those, how long did it take you to get off gym floor?
6 weeks.
So for you guys that don't know, off gym floor in bunny ears means you sacrifice getting leads and giving free time to the gym and accept full rent.
Yeah.
So 6 weeks would be half the time. I did it in 7, I think. So 6 and 7 weeks instead of 12 that we both went, nah, I'm done. I don't want any more leads because I've got a full book.
Yeah, and the goals, the game's pretty easy with that one. Like keeping scores real easy. Just like get in front of as many people as you can in the space that you want to be busy.
Yeah.
So we were in the gym. I need to see as many people in the gym as possible. You know, when we started to move online, it's like cool. We need to be exposed to as many people as possible online.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not in the spaces that you want to be busy in and you're not active. So active doesn't mean just fucking you walked in and sat in the PT office playing on your phone. So you're out in the front line with people exposing yourself to people so they know who you are.
Yeah.
And talk and have as many good conversations about training, conversations in the gym, all those things all add up. It's like be where you want to be busy. It's just like it is such a simple thing to do. And I understand that it's not cool and sexy, but it is so effective.
Yeah, and it's not easy either. It's simple. It's not easy. There's a lot of demons and ego checking that goes into that process for a lot of people. You need to understand that everyone feels like that.
Yeah.
It's just what you do with it.
Yeah.
And it ties back into having those really clear goals. If you sat down and just went, Jace, all I need you to do is make 10 phone calls a day. Just dial 10 numbers a day for the next 12 weeks, you'll have 40 sessions.
Yeah.
It's like that's so much more manageable than, fuck, if I don't have 40 sessions at the end of this 12 weeks, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, and even just like breaking it down into simple steps of like how to have that conversation. Like, you know, we talk about systems. It's like if we have all of these things laid out in a very simple strategic fashion that addresses like the person, the goal, what they get, all of these things, it takes the fear of rejection out because it's not a situation now where you're like, I hope this person works with me. And if they don't, I feel like a piece of shit. It's like you're a professional. These are the outcomes this person's come to this gym for and sat in front of you as a professional to achieve them.
Yeah.
You've outlined them. Now you guys are exchanging business for that.
Yeah. And when you see how to have those conversations, it's literally like someone just showed you the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's like, is that it?
Yeah.
Like that's
changes everything. Yeah, changes how you behave.
You don't have to trick anyone. You don't have to beg anyone. You don't have to be quote unquote salesy. Like, you don't. You just have to identify a problem and solve it. And it's super, super simple. And those conversations are actually easy. Yeah. Doing enough of them is the hard part.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that the generic, cheesy, fucking annoying, I'll say, like 80s, 90s style, like telemarketer sales shit still gets thrown around now.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's part of the fucking problem.
Excuse me. It's kind of good for us because it makes us stand out.
Well, yeah, but it's like people, it's like I can hear it. I can feel it. As soon as someone talks to me or like picks the phone, I'm like, whoever fucking taught you that is dead.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like,
our generation doesn't play that game.
No. And what do they play with? Confidence.
Yeah.
They play with like stature, you know, like how it's not bravado. It's like you know what you're there for. You understand your role in this and you know what you're going to do for somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like when you have those things and you sit down in front of someone, it's like, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to fucking tell you.
Yeah.
And we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's just so much power in that. You know, I look for it all the time. Yeah. Everything that I get, everything that I want. If I'm trading a service with somebody, it's like if there's a single bit of doubt in anything you say, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't care if we're friends. I don't care if I like you. I want to know you're the best fucking person for the job.
This job, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what needs to get taught. It's like we need to start to become professionals. We need to start to assume that role. It's like everyone sits there and says, oh, but if I do this and they get paid for this and they get paid this much and stuff, it's like, okay, well, how about we start fucking acting like it so that we can start to bump that shit up, bump the expectations up. Not, oh, I'll just slip you $50 every now and then and we'll just do this when I feel like it. It's like, what kind of fucking job is that? Like you're trying to call yourself a specialist. Like we all act that way.
Yeah.
It's like we need to change the game.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We're here to change the game so we can keep score on a different level.
Yeah. I have nothing to add to that. That was great.
Thank you.
Well done. Jason is sufficiently caffeinated. I think like maybe to close up on the sales stuff, like it's just a structure. You just have to show up.
Yep.
The more you show up, the better you'll get at it. I think maybe to spin off what you're saying, the biggest obstacle there for young, new, not necessarily young, but newer trainers is like they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they're worth whatever they're worth, or their service isn't good. The simple question I ask that when that brings that up is like, do you know more than your clients?
Yeah. That's all we need to do.
That's it. Are you further along the line with education around health and fitness than the person you're sitting at the table with? If you're not, refer them on. I guarantee you that'll happen like 5% of the time max.
Yeah. There's so much to it. We could talk about sales for an hour.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's about knowing your product. It's about knowing what you do. It's about knowing your business. It's about seeing where you fit within that.
Yeah.
If you don't know those things and you're going down and sit with someone, like there's going to be no confidence.
It's going to come off, yeah.
Well, if you sit there and you're like, I'm Jason, I work with these people, these are the outcomes that I get, this is how I do it, and you know that off by heart, you sit down with someone and you're like, hey man, how's it going? Like, what are your problems?
Yeah.
Like, what are you here for?
Yeah.
Like, boom, okay, cool, we do this all the time. Mm-hmm. This is how we do it. And this is what you get. So when are you getting started?
Yeah.
Done.
Simple.
So easy.
Yeah. Next one that I think a lot of PTs, and it's maybe a hangover from that, like, I did my cert, I've got my gym shirt on, I'm an authority, is the ability to actually coach.
Yeah.
And when we say coach, we mean ask more questions than you give instructions.
Yeah.
And communicate in a way that creates a relationship that the client likes, trusts, believes in you, and has buy-in to the process.
Yeah.
If you can't achieve that, it's very, very challenging, A, to keep people, B, to get results.
Yeah.
If you don't have those two things, the next pillar we're going to talk about is profile, which is like your Instagram stuff. It's not worth anything if you can't keep them.
Yeah. It's hard when you don't know a lot and your circle is small. You just spend a lot of time talking and not a lot of time listening. But if you can learn how to just, even with what you know, how to articulate good questions, open-ended questions, and even just understand that like your clients have the fucking answer. Like most of the time, it's like, you're having trouble with nutrition. Like, tell me what are you doing? What do you think you're doing wrong? They'll tell you all the things. It's not like, I don't know why this is working. This isn't working. They know why it's not fucking working.
Yeah.
They just don't want to tell you because they don't trust you and they don't feel comfortable doing it. So it's like, build a good relationship and then just like give them the responsibilities. Give them some responsibility. Like they've hired you to help them, not to buy the outcome off you.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference in training and service. Is like anything else, like I want this laptop, I'll just go buy, I get the laptop.
Yeah.
You don't get that with personal training. You don't get that with the service. It's like you get the service, but the service of here is you get access to all this stuff. I'm here to help you, but you gotta fucking do it.
Yeah, we were talking today about, someone asked us about like the return on investment for the Standout PT program. And was like, I can't give you that answer, man. It's like I've seen
it could be 1,000 times.
I've seen people go from $500 a week to $2,500 a week in 12 weeks, but I'm not going to tell you that's going to be your return on investment because I don't know how much you can show up.
We've seen a 3,500% increase on ROI.
Yeah,
but it's like it's relative to the person.
Yeah,
it's relative to the work ethic.
Yeah,
relative to the situation.
So when it comes to your clients, your goal is to create an environment that facilitates the easiest transition for them to create the outcome for themselves.
Yep.
That's your goal. So that comes through with what nutrition plan you give them, what program you give them, what expectations you put on them or they put on themselves, even better. Yep. How you communicate with them, what a pass-fail looks like, what resources they need. All of that comes together based on you creating an environment that person can then achieve the outcome that they want.
Yeah.
You didn't achieve the outcome, the client did.
Yeah.
You facilitated it, and whenever I hear that, I'm just like, oh, like just grinds my gears. You didn't do shit, mate. Like you put the plan together, that's great. A good coach goes unrecognized. All the spotlight is on, like Phil Jackson is known as one of the greatest coaches of all time. It's like, he's not worth $1 billion like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jordan's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It's like that's not how it plays out.
Yeah.
So you've got to understand your role
Yeah.
Your role is to facilitate that environment.
Yeah.
So last one, we touched on it pretty solid. So maybe just recap on like
the profile,
what it actually means to build a profile. First step, fill your book. That'll give you a pretty good profile because everyone, at any time anyone sees you, you're with a client.
Yeah.
If you're skilled at what you do, they'll be moving well.
Yeah.
And then people actually notice, you don't think that they do, that they notice how different your clients look over time.
Yeah.
They notice their improvements, be it body composition or movement or strength. It gets noticed by other people in the gym. That's profile. Forget Instagram right now.
I think even just summarize, profile's real easy. It's like how people think about you as a trainer and business owner. It's like do everything you can to make that as favorable as possible.
Yeah.
How you dress, how you talk,
get yourself a nice barber subscription.
How you act, interact with your clients, the skill you have, the language, how interactive you are in the sessions, the results they get, the relationship that people see you guys have. You know, all of those things influence your profile. So people say, go see Ben, he's great.
Yeah.
If you got people telling other people to go see you and they haven't worked with you,
that's what
you're doing a great fucking job.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
And we've had it, and it's just like, holy shit. Like, I've had someone who I have never worked with. Yeah, like...
sometimes I don't even know their name.
We're the same, and it's like, but that's the gold standard. And that's when you know you're doing everything right.
Yeah. Yeah, you will have people come up to you, because I've seen it happen, and people will come up and go, hey, I just wanted to say, I've been watching you with your clients over the last 3 weeks. What you do is fucking unreal.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I didn't even know anyone was watching, but cool, thanks.
Yeah.
And it happens. That's the starting point of your profile. And then you can start transferring that into other places. Yeah. I would start thinking about, like, what can you do if you're a face-to-face trainer, what can you do inside your club?
Yeah.
Because no one's doing shit inside their club anymore because they can hide behind their internet connection.
Yeah.
Like, I'll run a live Q&A on Instagram. Yeah, cool. What about maybe running one in person in the gym? Could you do that? Would people show up? Would all your clients come? Would they get more benefit out of it if it's live?
Human connection's going to be a way to stand out. I can even just see it now. Like, you've got those people that won't bat an eyelid at interacting with you online. And as soon as they see you face to face, they'll like fucking bury their head in the sand and like pretend they didn't see you and shit. It's like, fucking learn how to speak to people.
Yeah.
It's the gold standard. It's why I go to the barber. It's like, we're fucking human. Like, we thrive off interaction. Like, we just spent fucking 8 months last year locked in a house doing fucking Zoom parties. I'm sure everyone did once and thought, fuck this. Like, I'll just be an alcoholic on my own.
Drinking wine wasn't Formula 1 qualifying.
And it's just like, as soon as we get out, it's like, I know I was like, I need to see people. I need to talk to them. I need to like feel their human radiation, like their humanness radiating over to me. It's like, that's what we are. That's what we do. And it's like, now all we do is hide behind screens. So it's like, find a way, think about it. It's like, who's standing out now? The people that want to interact with other people and can do both, or that person that can't talk to someone face to face, but they're real good online.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I kind of want to be good at both, especially if I'm going to be a face-to-face coach.
And I don't think the people you think are really successful online aren't as successful as you think they are.
Yeah, well, it's the highlight of your life, isn't it? It's everything you want. You're in control of what people see. So when you're in the gym, you can't really control all of that. It's real time. It's happening. So if you can get real good in there, you could do a live of your life on a screen and you're sweet.
Yeah.
Because you've got everything ingrained into you. You don't have to sit there for 3 hours G'ing yourself up to make a video to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just like...
if you can speak in a room, you can speak on a camera.
Do this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we just talk, you know?
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. So when we put all that together, we've got... Your goals are in place, you know exactly what the fuck you're trying to achieve, and you know what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. You've got a sales strategy in place that means you can turn the tap on and off whenever you want to get clients. Initially, let's be real, no one's walking through the door to come and work with you. That's our goal long term, but it's not happening straight away.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground, get yourself full. Learn to coach people. You're not telling anyone what to do. You're creating, like I've said it 100 times on the podcast now. You have to shot every time I say this from now on. You're creating an environment that facilitates an outcome.
Yeah.
Go through that in your mind, what it actually means for the person that you're working with, how you need to communicate with them, how you need to engage with them. And don't tell me you just work with athletes when you've got no fucking clients. You don't. I'm sorry. You don't. Because you've got no one. You don't work with anyone. So announcing that at the start, I'm like, sorry, Jason and I work with athletes too. We still have a lot of Gen Pop people that we need to have a fucking conversation with. And we were just talking about it before. No offense to my athletes. I love you guys. Some of them are as hard, like challenging in terms of like needing to be able to have those coaching conversations as the quote unquote Gen Pop clients that are just robots. It's a personality type thing. It's not a skill set based on your genetics or your ability to perform at a sport.
Yeah.
That's not what distinguishes what level of conversation or type of conversation you need to have.
Yeah.
Coaching's in place. Build your profile locally. Get yourself full. Get yourself busy. Start putting your name out there. If you've got a full book, what can you... Sorry, Tam, I'm banging on the table. I'm excited. What can you do to help inside that community? If you come from a place of how do I help, that's the best place to go when it comes to building a profile. Then you just transfer that online. Super, super easy.
Yep.
Put those 4 things in place. You have a clear sales strategy, simple and effective business system. Online presence is starting to build. So we eventually, 6 months down the track, when you've had a full book, you've built this reputation, you're known for the guy that helps people. People know who you are. You're getting the outcomes because you can actually fucking coach people. All of a sudden, people start coming to you. And that's where online's actually worth its weight.
Yep.
And ultimately, putting all that together, you've got a career.
Yeah.
If you can do all of those things,
you've got a fucking good shot at this, man.
Congratulations, you're not part of the 60% of small businesses that fail in Australia anymore. You're in the top 40%.
You can't run a failing business that way.
Correct.
You can't.
Yeah.
And if you do, come see me.
Yeah.
Because I'll fucking fix it.
If you're willing to show up for all of those things, you won't. You just won't.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's the whole results guarantee thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, do it.
Yeah.
And you'll get it.
So it is shameless plug time. We actually have a course that's called Your First $1,000 Week. Available.
Minimum.
Yeah, well, it's making your first $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
And that really, just using those models, like if you take those 4 pillars, and you should be able to make $100K if you're working full-time as a PT.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly, inside 6 months.
Yeah.
So for the details on that, just head to stcfitlearning.com/1K-week. Or if it's easier, Instagram at STCfit_learning. Link in bio and the tab will be there and you can go straight to the page. Tells you all about the course. It's touch free. Do it in your own time. We've had people do it in as short as 2 weeks and as long as 12. We actually had a guy who did this and who's now in our Standout PT program told us yesterday he put on 16 clients after just doing the sales modules.
Yeah.
From this book.
This course. That's why I'm so confident that if you're running a failing business or you're about to start and it looks like that's going to happen, that this will avoid that altogether.
Yeah.
Or fix it.
Yeah. If you're in a position at the moment that you don't know how you're going to pay rent, this solves it.
100%.
Yeah.
This gives you a good shot in the industry for a long period of time.
Yeah. You can obviously just enter your details at the website. We'll get in touch with you. If you have any other questions, just shoot us a DM on Instagram. It's probably the easiest place to get hold of us. That was a fun episode to actually look at. It's interesting to look at where we started and how so much easier it would have been if we had known this back then.
Yeah.
It's yes, we were successful, quote unquote, in terms of we got off gym floor really quick because we just showed up all the time.
Yeah.
I was chip on my shoulder. I'm the first to get there. I'm the last to leave. Just smile to myself. If I knew all the PT's cars, it was if I left the gym and mine was the only one left, I'm I'm fucking outworking you. Now I look at that.
It wasn't outworking me. I just made enough money and I left.
You probably started early because I didn't like getting up in the morning.
That was definitely it. I was there early. You were there at night.
Yeah. But I think looking back at this now, and I say it to guys when we chat about all of our programs, I just wish I had this information. when I was in that position.
Oh, of course. Yeah. There's this and a lot more, but it's just when people make mistakes and survive and make it work, there's a duty, in my opinion, to give back.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to go through what we had to go through. There is a better way. Do it.
Yeah.
Do this, please. Just do it like this.
Yeah.
Because you'll have a shot and you can decide whether you like it or not. Not PT wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So you just didn't have you had a crack, but you just fucked it up because you didn't know.
Yeah.
That's not PT wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Have a crack and it's find out if PT's for you.
Yeah.
Find out if the fitness industry is for you because it's pretty fucking good.
Have a $2,000 direct debit drop into your bank account on a Wednesday, then decide if PT is not for you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Sweet. I am at Ben Scott STC. I think. Is there a fit on mine?
No. It's all STC now.
And at Jason Galea _STC if you want to follow us.
Yeah.
At Tam Vibes _. Just because he's in the room
now. The boys
now,
are back.
I actually remember to tag him and stuff.
Yeah.
For all your media needs, maybe not all your because he's busy. You give him too much shit
maybe
to do.
some media needs.
Yeah. You can't steal him from us.
Yeah. some freelance work in a very small capacity.
Yeah. So next episode will be in a fortnight. Special guest will be Hattie Boydell from the Sports Model Project. First guest in ages.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It should be a good one.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I've spoken to Hattie a little bit, and I think a lot of people have a bit of an impression of what someone in that world, how they live. And I don't think it's maybe what people think.
Yeah.
A lot of the conversations that I've had with Hattie and her work ethic is you're just fucking getting shit done. So I'm excited to have that conversation.
I'm excited to hear that too.
Cool. So we'll see you then.
Yep.
Enjoy your weeks.
See you guys.